turn off again. And off to the right is the Coburn 24-hour camping stop, which has no shade, a couple of shelters. Anyway, we don't need to stay there. So, we head back down towards Hells Creek again, onto the Great Northern Highway. And I might just actually have a coffee here. Get my bearings, so to speak, since I didn't really have any breakfast. It's 8 o'clock. God knows, what is it, 1st of September or something, yes? So we've virtually achieved everything we wanted to achieve on this trip. So I'm now heading back home. We're at the Coburn 24-hour stopping place, as you know, because I've just put it on a number of these scenes. I'll have my coffee, and I don't really know where I'm going to end up tonight because I haven't looked at the map. I know we're heading down back towards Halls Creek. Maybe Marypool, depends. We'll get to Warman. Probably top up with fuel, and then let's see where the cookie crumbles or the sausage rolls. Anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee and turn this off. Okay, I'll move out of your way, big truck. Nice cup of coffee now. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Here we go. We have a sign. Warman is 153. So, we shall certainly be a little bit further down the track than that. Halls Creek 314. We could be beyond Halls Creek, but it's 1543 to Port Hedland. Okay, we won't make Port Hedland tonight. Look at that. Oh yeah, baby. That's what it's all about. Just me up here. Suck it in, folks. Look at that. Can't move my camera very much because otherwise you'll get a view of a piece of duct tape stuck to my windscreen from another stone chip. But anyway. Sure we're getting the idea here. And if you're bored, just turn it off or fast forward. I don't care. I'll watch it. We've just passed over Cheese Tin Creek again after leaving the Gibb River Road. And I think said, we've seen all these scenes before, but I never get sick of it, so that's why I put it on. And I like to see where I've been. I never get sick of this. Just for my own reference, this is the reverse view going down the highway towards Warman from the Coburn rest stop. And the reason I'm making this commentary is because I have to edit this thing and I have so much footage, like I have to have a reference point in which to say, oh yeah, that belongs in that bit there. I don't have a clapperboard like the professional filmmakers have. And as I've just taken the rear view and given myself a reference point, now I'm stuck back on the front view, still heading to Warman. Just trying to capture the colours in the distance of the hills. That sort of blue hue. A blue hue. Hope we're catching the colours of the hills in the background. Now watch, there's a couple of little boab trees coming up. They're so cute. Look at those guys. I love those boabs. Pity we can't grow them, or can we? Can we grow them down in Albany? I wonder. I must have a look. Mind you, they take hundreds of years to grow. Beautiful. We have a lot of signage down here. Reduce speed. I think it's these one-lane bridges we're coming to again, I think. Yep, one-lane bridge, Arthur Creek. Forward-looking GoPro has just informed me that the SD card is full, so at the next stopping area I will stop and replace the card. It's almost an assault on the senses. I've turned this GoPro camera over to record some footage from the front, and just looking across to the left there, and there's that big craggy looking thing, and the colours coming off it are absolutely amazing. But of course course it's all covered by trees, you can't see it now. Okay. I'm going to run out of battery on this thing too, because it's only down to about 32. So unless I find a parking spot, all video footage is going to stop very soon. But we'll capture this in 4K. Not 4K, but in 4K. Beautiful. Now I'm holding this handheld. I shouldn't be because it's naughty. But as I'm going to run out of battery very soon, get a better perspective of where we are in the vehicle. We're going with all the Spaghetti Junction, travelling up here. Look at that view to my right. That's so beautiful. And no parking places to speak of just yet. Okay, I'm going to attempt to turn this particular one off. Parking sign, 1 kilometre, UT. I have to charge the battery on this particular GoPro and probably change the card in the other one, and also I'll probably have to do a battery there as well. But I have spare batteries for the one here. But I don't have a spare battery for this particular unit because it doesn't actually use batteries, spare batteries. You can't take them out. Okay, now where's my parking spot? I'm going to turn this off. Well, this one's about to cark it. Well, it's got about 29% of battery left, so I'm going to change batteries. But have a look behind me. Have a look at all that scenery. Isn't that magnificent? Absolutely beautiful. We'll do a little bit of a pan. Got my big mug in it. Glorious. Absolutely glorious. Okay, we'll leave this magnificent parking spot. I've changed batteries, but I haven't done a battery change or a charge on the Hero 7 Silver. It's got about 26% left, so we'll just chance that because it's too inconvenient to try and charge it in the car. I'll put it on a battery pack later today when I get somewhere. Now, road is clear behind, let's go. Oh, that's magnificent scenery up here, isn't it? Look at that. I never get sick of this. We just crossed over Big McPhee Creek. He was a legend in these parts, Big McPhee. Approaching the Doon Roadhouse, but I don't really need to stop for fuel at the moment. We'll make it to Warman, which is another 90 kilometres down the track. So, sorry Doon, can't stop. You're just Fees Creek. That was the legend's little brother. Little. That's probably a little bit better view of it there. You can see the outcrops. And look at these magnificent little Moabs again. Look at the fellas. This is Camel Creek. We're about to cross Camel Creek. I suppose if you were riding a camel, that would give you hemorrhoids. Probably why that hill there is called Hemorrhoid Hill. Well, we're getting closer to it. Yes, I think we've captured it in all its glory now. It's 3D glory, the glorious Technicolor. Hemorrhoid Hill. Caravan warning. Here's a bit of an arty-farty shot. Just for something to break up the monotony. Not that it's monotonous. Here is a driver's eye view. But I could run out of battery soon. Victorians, well, you'll probably take exception to my estimations, because you'll say, well, what about our high country? And yeah, probably explains why there's so many of you actually over here at this particular point in time, travelling around. In fact, I was talking to a young Victorian this morning, and he actually coined the term for me, kick a Vic, and I thought, no, I haven't heard that one for a long time, kick a Vic. But hey, must have been a bit sensitive about it. But there's an awful lot of Victorians travelling this state right now, let me tell you, and I think you've all escaped your COVID confines. So get rid of the COVID, you can all come over and have a look. Don't get me wrong, this COVID thing, it's a bad, bad thing, and WA has been very, very, very lucky. And I sort of think sometimes us West Australians, or a lot of us, are becoming a bit complacent about it. So we've got to be on our guard. So go out there and get your vaccinations. And then if everybody gets vaccinated, at least we've done what the authorities want us to do, and they have no excuses for keeping us locked up. So bear that in mind. Crikey, in the last 2 minutes I've just passed 3 Tasmanians have gone in the northerly direction on this road, all towing caravans. Now this is not a very nice section of road actually. It's memo to Mr. McGowan and the roads people. Could do with a bit of an upgrade here if you keep encouraging all the tourists to come up this way. Needs a bit of a widening, I think, and resurfacing. Anyway, just a thought, Mr. McGowan, while you have that massive majority in Parliament. Yep, there's a bit of land management going on here. It's awfully close to the side of the road, guys. Birds are circling around, waiting for some little insect, some little creature to jump out the flames. Look at that. There's some land management for you. Good flames. Kidding. We're back to the land of the one-lane bridge. Okay guys, you'll just make it and I won't have to stop. Well done. Yay. This is where we passed over that one-lane bridge. The property is called Lussadell. L-U-S-S-A-Dell. Lussadell. Just coming through another pass, and it's I know I've taken this video before on the way up, but I'm sure the colours are a little bit different at this particular time, and because I'm sort of heading south, they're picking up these colours. You see little, but there'll be none now, little yellow flowers on what appear to be baby boabs. Don't know if we're picking any up now. There's one coming up just along here. Can you see? Pointing off to the right. Some yellowy flowers. And I think they're little baby boab trees. They're beautiful. Okay, we're arriving back in Warmun, or Turkey Creek. And we shall go to the roadhouse and fill up with fuel. We're about just under halfway. And it's about 160, I think, to Halls Creek. And it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to be beyond Halls Creek. And I'm still deciding whether it's going to be Mary Pool or even a bit further beyond. We shall see. I will have to study a map. There is a sign up left there in the community, and it says local traffic only. And I'm just wondering whether they have actually closed themselves off because of this COVID too. Now, where the heck is the roadhouse? Have I passed the roadhouse? I didn't see it. Anyway, if I have, it looks like we're on the way to Halls Creek. I couldn't have missed the roadhouse, or did I? Maybe that's where those cars were coming out and I was busy yakking. Oh well, Halls Creek it is then. Yep, 160. I'm about 60 k's out of Halls Creek, and I decided I'd actually start charging that battery in the GoPro Hero 7, and I'm looking at this old boab tree, and you might notice up there's a nest. That could very well be an eagle's nest in there. Can you see it? Very top. Have a look at that. Hey! West Coast eagle. Not a Fremantle docker. Anyway, it's stinking hot out here, I must admit. It must be, well, into the 30s anyway. And there's quite a hot wind blowing. Anyway, it is what it is, and I've got the air conditioner going in the car when I move. And having said that, I hope that they haven't damaged the fuel pumps again in Halls Creek, because it seems like that's a bit of a habit that's happening these days. And after my little faux pas of passing Warman without actually pulling in, because I didn't even see the roadhouse, I need to get fuel in Halls Creek, otherwise I'm up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. So that's what happens. You have to take your opportunities when you can. Anyway, cheers. Another coffee. And I'm an idiot. Another one-lane bridge over Mabel Spring Creek. Mabel Spring. And this one coming up is Rocky Creek. Well, they're all rocky up here, especially when you have to drive over them. Rocky Creek. No water. We're now back on the Mabel Downs property, and we're just about to pass Big Mabel Creek, and that's the property that we flew over in the helicopter on our way to the Bungles the other day. So this is all part of Mabel Downs. Big property. There's a bit of a steep climb up this one. Mind you, we had it all downhill going down, didn't we? Well, we can't complain. Entering this, it's probably what, 10 or 15 k's of roadworks, and we slow down to 60, so I won't bore you with going through that again. We'll see you on the other side. Bugger it, I will bore you. I want to see this when I get home again. Now this is one of the highway upgrades to the Great Northern Highway. I did say something, memo to Mr. McGowan earlier, but obviously they have all these things under their grand plan, and this is a big one. This is a big undertaking when you look at all the machinery and the concrete culverts and things, and it does last for quite a few a floodway underneath there. All of which have to be engineered and approved, and all the various procedures and things gone through, inspected by engineers. There's another one. Yeah, that's a beauty too. Floodways. Very interesting construction sites. Big crane over there in the background lifting concrete culverts, and I see a cement mixer. He's obviously pouring the foundations for some of these big culverts that are going through. So that's why it takes gazillions of dollars to actually make roads. And they're probably putting in charging stations for all the electric cars that'll eventually be up here. Electric cars, yeah, baby. But there is a Willy Willy. Look at that. Swirling. I hope it's coming out here. This place is notorious for them. Last trip up I got caught in one. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, I think I might be about to get squirted. Get a bit of a wash. Yep. Ah, he turned it off. I was going to give you a windscreen wash there. Anyway, thank you, buddy. He thought, no, I won't get you all dirty. I now am picking up copious amounts of red dirt and mud under me, under my chassis, though. I'll tell you. It was kicking up and throwing it everywhere there after that water went on the road. Right, here we are again. We have another one-laner. I shall pull over, let this chappie through. New South Welshman. Tikalara Creek. Now remember that one, Tikalara. We crossed Tikalara last time, up a few months ago. Tikalara Creek. Not Tickle Lara, Tikalara. Well, I bet somebody would like to tickle Lara. And here we go. I'm not sure, I can't remember now whether this is the end of it or if you were coming up from that way, the start of it. Let's say end road work, 110 kilometres per hour I can do. And that, yeah, that could be the end of that little section. So next area to go through will be Purnaloo. Halls Creek is 110. Yes, this is the Spring Creek. You'll recall we went out Spring Creek Road and I crapped it at the water jump, but I'm glad now because it was too deep. It was too deep for this vehicle, I'm sure. Anyway, now we're going to head into Halls Creek and I've got to make sure that I do not miss the services at the Coles supermarket petrol station. Purnaloo National Park. We're actually crossing over the Ord River now. This is the Ord River, as you're aware if you watch the helicopter videos. The Ord River runs through Purnaloo and it helps to fill the Argyle Dam, which we didn't go to this time. But it's very dry at the moment, so there's not an awful lot of water in the Ord. But at least we guy there had ample time over the last 10 kilometres to pass me. Wallies. Absolute wallies. Got a guy coming up behind me now, and he flew up like a bat out of hell with double lines approaching, and he had to slam on his brakes. Now here he goes. They're idiots. Absolute wankers. Yep, South Australian. Good on ya. Bit of smoke on the horizon approaching Halls Creek. I hope they haven't set it on fire. Without a rider? Where's the rider? God, it always happens in Halls Creek, whatever. In and out as quick as you can. Fuel. Maybe check the supermarket for a tin of tomatoes. I still need to get a tin of tomatoes. Anyway, let's go up to the Shell first. Bottle shop open. Woof! Crikey. Where are you going, my friend? Yeah, okay. was just about to leave Halls Creek and I get a message on this GoPro saying my card was full, and I thought, how can it be? I only just changed it, but I only put it in for a very small, or a 16 gigabyte. Have a look at this dog having a bath in the puddle. Anyway, I just realised I should have replaced it with a 64 gigabyte one, which I have now just done. So we're now on our way back out of Halls Creek. I stopped and came back to the supermarket, and I grabbed a few little things there, and now we're on the track, Jack. So we'll leave Halls Creek for another year, maybe. Oh, we've got a traffic jam here in Halls Creek. Okay, righto, now we're ready to go. Now next actual stop is Mary Pool. Now it's, well, yeah, Mary Pool might be the place tonight again, because it's 81 kilometres or 108 kilometres from here, and it's 5 to 1, and I don't like travelling too long. I've had enough today. So might be Mary Pool. Well, I'm 9 kilometres outside of Mary Pool again, so I think that's where the campsite will be. It's sort of 5 to 2, and I've been on the road since 7, virtually non-stop, and apart from a little sojourn into Halls Creek and a couple of coffee breaks. So I think that'll do for tonight, and then that leaves us 180 kilometres to Fitzroy Crossing, and a little bit closer to the Leopold Ranges, King Leopold Ranges, where we might drop in there yet again and have another look. Here's that familiar post office bus, the red one. I've seen that a few times now. Not on this trip. I've seen it once on this trip. Saw it a couple of times on the last one. I think it plies between Broome and probably Kununurra, I'd say. Anyway, that's interesting. The red bus. Back at Mary Pool. And I decided when I was at Halls Creek to buy some fish fillets. Well, battered fish fillets, bird's eye. And they're going to be very nice, I think. A bit different. But I'm still stuck with my old standby in here, which is dried peas. And I will mix them with a bit of Deb with onion. And they're pretty nice. Got the civilised drinks out, so I'll do a little bit of a spin around the campsite. It's not quite as busy as it has been on previous occasions, but it's, I suppose the season is starting to wind down. There's that big bus up there though, and he's got a generator going. It's been going since I arrived. I hope he turns it off in the middle of the night. It's most disconcerting and discourteous to other people running generators all day and all night.